Hey, bring them out, bring them out. It's a hard to yell when that schlong is in your mouth. Bro, Piers Morgan brought Superhead to the show. Throwback, bro. Throwback, dog. Superhead, bro. Like the OG, the original. You feel me? The original, bro. I'm talking about she been with everybody. Everybody, bro. So it's like, I'm curious as to what the angle is, man. You trying to get inside of Cassie's head? You feel me? Cause, bruh, I would not be desecrating my platform with the Slores, bro. I wouldn't. The message is insane. You know what I mean? If you suck enough tip and your name go viral enough, you can come to Piers Morgan, bro. You can come to Piers Morgan, dog. But I'm curious, bro, because it's a spectacle. It's a spectacle, dog. Karen Superhead Steffens, boy. She take me back, bro. Hey, Mr. Marcus. I'm talking about I was a kid, bro. That's how long this girl been slobbing tops. So they need the pro to come on the show and tell them how it go. Anyway, let's get it.
Elizabeth Overson, known to many by her pseudonym of Karen Steffens.
On to most by Superhead.
Superhead is a moniker that I gave myself in a personal relationship of mine that I had with an artist, and it was a joke between us based on our love life, and it was all of those things. But unfortunately, it got out, and once it got out, it got misunderstood. You know, I'm not saying it's not true.
By Superhead. And I mean, the top wasn't even that crazy. I mean, becoming a grown man, like that was light work. That was light work, but she had the world captivated. She had Wayne captivated, bro. This girl had all the rappers and high profile men in like the urban area trying to wife this Slore, bro. It's crazy the amount of control some drug out Poontang has over the most powerful of men, dog. You know what I mean? Simps.
Elizabeth Overson, known to many by her pseudonym of Karen Steffens, author of Video Vixens, who claims she was gifted to Diddy in 2001 by a music
She look good
executive.
though, bro.
Well,
How old
welcome.
she gotta be? She gotta be late 40s, late 40s maybe early. Hold on, where my phone? I'm curious. She do look good, dog. You know what I'm saying? All that DNA did her face right. And those of y'all been asking about the arm situation. I tweaked my arm working out, bro. I strained that bit pretty bad. So I'm trying to get back to form. Hold on. Karen Steffens' age, calling her a video vixen, bro. Slore, 46. Okay. I mean, she still look good. But I say about late 40s, she mid 40s. She look good, bro.
To Uncensored, Elizabeth. Thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of people are kind of aware of your history with Diddy, but for those who know nothing about it, how would you categorize your time with him?
My time with Sean was honestly pleasant in the beginning. To my recollection, the first time we met, we spent the night together, but he was a consummate gentleman with me in that evening, again, to my recollection. And every other time I saw him after that was in a group setting, so it was fine. The last time I saw him, however, things had taken a bit of a turn. It was after Confessions of a Video Vixen, my first book had been published, and he was seething when he saw me at Prince had a party at his house, and we were there, you know, of course, before Prince died, and he was scowling at me the whole night, and I found it amusing, but he was obviously very angry with me by that point in our relationship.
Why was he so angry with you?
Well, 4 months before Confessions was published in 2005, we got a call from Sean's attorney, my attorney did, and Sean's attorney wanted to see the book before the book came out. Confessions of a Video Vixen was an embargoed book, so no one could see it. No one would even get it until the publication date, which is June 5th of that year. And so my attorney told his attorney that he could not get the book and that they would have to wait until the book came out like everyone else. And if they saw a problem in the book, that they were free to reach back out to us, sue us, whatever they felt was necessary. We knew that wouldn't happen because HarperCollins is the publisher of that book, as you know, is a News Corp entity, and those attorneys made sure it was vetted to the fullest so Sean could never sue, he could never raise any objection to it. And I think he always hated me after that because I left enough. I posed questions in that book that that I think sent certain people down the direction that leads us to where we are now.
Just explain that a little more. What were the questions you think that you're talking about?
Well, honestly, I'm just now getting context on a lot of the questions that I had then. After the trial gave me way more context. But just about, I think, his sexual proclivities and what we saw in hanging out with him, the kind of clubs he took us to, even conversations he and I had. One in particular where I didn't understand it at the time. And honestly, Piers, I'm getting new understanding about this line of questioning. I wrote about this in Confessions where my boyfriend and I at the time had gone to his home for New Year's Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve kind of.
Imagine calling her your girlfriend, bro.
Festivities. And he pulled me to the side and was just like, we're friends, right? We're friends. And I was like, yeah, we're friends. And like, we're good. And I'm like, yeah, we're good. And I couldn't figure out what he meant. And I wrote about this where I didn't know what he was talking about. And he just kind of went on to say, I have kids, I have a mom, and if anything got out, it would really hurt them. And I honestly, at that point in stage, did not know or remember what he was talking about. And so we just kind of laughed it off, like, what's going on with him, and things that he said to my boyfriend, like, don't trust her, she might have her on video with, in precarious positions. And this is back before cell phone cameras. So I was just like, what video? I didn't understand any of it. Now after the trial and the things that have come out from the trial, this gives these conversations a lot more context. But at the time when Confessions came out, it did make us all wonder, what was he so afraid of? I didn't even know what I had seen or didn't see, or if there's something happened that I didn't remember from our time together. But he was very afraid that I would say something in the book. And honestly, I think he never contacted us back because what he thought I was going to say, I did not say. Possibly because I didn't remember it.
What do you think he was fearful of you saying?
I have to be honest, Piers, in booking this time with you today, and your producer asked me to kind of send over some pages from the book. I hadn't read Confessions since I wrote it, and I read it for the audio version, and that was 2005. It's been 20 years since I've read this book. And in reading what I sent over, which is what I just described to you right now, I wonder a lot of things. He was so afraid that I knew something. And I was confused because the only time that we had had together prior to this conversation was alone time at his home, wherein I felt we had a good time. I didn't know, he didn't come on to me. It was very platonic, I thought. So I was confused as to why, what was it? And so I have to admit, my mind kind of races now that I have more context of his proclivities and what he's capable of. what he was so afraid of, what he thought I knew or what he thought I remembered.
I mean, in the book, you talk about the first time you met Diddy in a nightclub at 3 a.m. You say, right there in front of me, Diddy and Gotti, who was the Murder Inc. Records boss, Irv Gotti, made arrangements to send me to Diddy's house in 1 hour. It was 4 a.m. I turned up to Diddy's home in my SUV. There were security guards in the driveway, all dressed in dark suits with their hands in front of them. They had been expecting me. The things that went on when Gotti and I were together are almost unimaginable to me now, but in the haze of drugs and liquor, it all seemed all right. I was being used over and over again, man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti's. I quickly became Gotti's showpiece. He would turn other people in the industry onto me. I was his party favour. Whenever there was anyone Gotti wanted to impress, he would send them to me and I'd take care of them. I mean, could it be that what Sean Combs was worried about was that he facilitated this very transactional relationship that you had with Irv Gotti? Is that part of this?
About that?
I don't think that was it. And honestly, I think it was more insidious than that. The fear, the fright that he had that during that conversation at his Miami home, back in whatever year that was, he seemed terrified that I had known something. And I just don't know what he thought I knew or remembered. The transactional nature of how we met, and which is why, I said in various interviews before that I was gifted to him, it was because no one asked me if I wanted to go. No one asked me. They talked about me as if I wasn't there. I was property to cart around. And that's what they did. If they would have asked me, I still would have gone. So I didn't hold any objection at the time because I would have still done it. Being 21 and it's Diddy and we're having fun and it's just a Saturday night out in LA.
.com/Piers. But did you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
So, what do you mean by that?
Red, hey, what you coming up here lying for, Sheriff? What's the point of this? What's the point of this interview period, bro? Like, the fuck? What the fuck is going on here right now? She lying, because that's the first time she asked bro to repeat himself. Yeah, I mean, first indicator, you're lying. But then, bro, you're Karen Superhead Stephens, bro. You expect the world to believe that, the pioneer of Slores out here, or one of them, did not give no box to Diddy? Come on now. Well, come on now. It was platonic. Diddy freak of freaks? Woo, Lord.
To my knowledge.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
You got raped?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
So
not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. I just, not to my knowledge, because honestly.
That's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
You trying to say you was high? He doped you up?
Yeah, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Piers, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again. And think about this. I'm a middle-aged woman at this point. I don't want to go back into my 20s and see what happened. But in gathering information for this interview here, reading that passage again for the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things, like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if I wasn't trustworthy? And
do you think he took advantage of you when you were under the influence of alcohol and drugs?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
But do you fear that's the case now from everything you've read?
Honestly, yes. Given the context, now that I know, because again, I never knew any of these things about him before. So the things that I learned in the trial, I did not know. I never saw that side of him. I did not know. I never understood. And again, in 2005, when I published Confessions, it says I didn't understand why he was so fearful of me, because our time together was pleasant. And I was like, wait, what is he so afraid of? What does he not want me to tell? I didn't see anything at that point. At that point, I hadn't seen anything. At that point, we had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together. So I was confused then. And 20 years later, I'm confused now. So to my knowledge, I've never had sex with Sean Combs. We never had that kind of relationship.
But you can't be sure.
Given what we know now, I can't be sure.
Man, get this lying hoe out of here, bro. Get this lying hoe out of here, man. Bro, your credibility is kaput, Sean. You trying to take advantage of those out here sympathizing for hoe ass Cassie, right? You trying to get some more book sales, you trying to go viral up on Piers, crime victim. You don't remember, but you remember all them other tips you was sucking and fucking. Did Diddy force you to do that or something? What the hell going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's open season now, huh? It's open season now. He could have doped me because he was doping everybody else. Man, you remember that shit. A platonic relationship with Diddy is an oxymoron. Platonic Diddy don't exist. Fuck out here. And you Superhead. You are Superhead. You are solely known for slobbing tops. That's it. You feel me? You ain't no damn A-list celebrity, top model, high-profile politician, bro. You the queen of hoes. I don't remember. What the hell fucking Diddy want to do with talking to your ass all night platonically for? That shit don't even make no sense. What any man with power gonna be sitting here talking to a slore all night platonically? That shit don't make any goddamn sense. Anyway, it's irritating because her mid-age ass is out here trying to take advantage of the women out here sympathizing for hoes, so she wants some of that sympathy too.
How does that make you feel?
And that saddens me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
It saddens me, honestly. Yeah, because honestly...
Oh, somebody wifed her, bro. She got a ring on her finger, dog. Ooh, Lord. Fuck, bro. Damn, I hate seeing that shit.
It's me, honestly. Yeah, because honestly, during this entire process, I've been shying away from publicity and just letting the trial unfold. You know, I knew things from just being around and people talking, but I didn't know what was going to come out. There's a few things that I saw that without context were strange to me, but I didn't understand them until the trial. And so I've been quiet this whole time, and I disappeared off of social. I just disappeared for the past year waiting for this thing to unfold. In the unfolding of what I believe to be facts, and definitely the testimonies of Cassie and Jane and even some of the men, and then looking back at the text, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, when he said, if anything got out, and I'm like, and I remember at the time being so confused, like anything like what got out? Like nothing happened. We hung out, you were kind. At some point I went to sleep, I don't know when, but I woke up and then we had breakfast and you were kind and I left. Nothing happened. I don't know, Piers, it just...
Is she implying that Diddy drugged her? So, and Diddy's afraid that she may remember the sadistic things he did to her while she was high. And she's trying to act like there's a possibility that something took place because Diddy is known as the drugging diddler. I mean, it's a possibility though, bro. Man, she woke up and then, you know what I mean, she didn't feel nothing down there because Diddy don't make nobody feel nothing down. I had to, bro. I had to, dog. Man, come on, man. Get this silly shit out of here, bro. You fucking know what's happening. You know what's up, bro. And then on top of it, it's Superhead, bro. It's Superhead. You a hoe. You just stated that Irv Gotti and the boys used to train you, used to go through you. You used to that type of shit, right? Sound like Irv was worse than Diddy was. And you just can't believe hoes anyway, bro. Can't believe them, bro. Lying ass. Gonna come out of this bitch gonna come out of the damn grave 20 years later talking about Diddy drugged her up and took her poom poom too when you sitting out here letting the whole world take your poom poom and your mouth. That's your moniker, bro. Superhead. Which wasn't even that super.
From that world, Jay-Z, DMX, Van Diesel, Lil Wayne, Method Man, even Bill Maher, LL Cool J, Mr. Carl, and others. You had a lot of famous guys you dated. And who knows what the nature of what happened with Diddy was about. But do you feel that...
Yeah, talk that shit, Piers. Talk that shit, Piers. Woo!
This whole world has now changed irrevocably as a result of what happened to Diddy?
No, because nothing has happened to Diddy. Nothing has happened to Sean at all. What has happened here is that, here's the deal. It's not a Diddy issue. Like, Diddy is a problem, but he's not the problem.
Facts.
Okay, he's not the problem.
Okay, let's get it.
From Cosby to Combs, Weinstein to Epstein, and everything in between, they're all different tentacles of the same beast. And this is a story as old as time. The abuses of men, men in power especially, men with money. And I think it only increases over time as women become more free and more liberated, being able to make our own money, being able to, buy our own homes, being able to start our own businesses. I think it only enrages the men who hold power that they're losing power. And so I felt that over time, in my experience over the last 20-something years that I've been in this town, that the men are increasingly more aggressive and more so wanting to keep women under control and in power because they are losing power, even legally so. I don't think that the Diddy trial has changed anything other than it probably fuels this issue more than anything, because here's the deal. Two of the toughest charges have been dropped. He's facing up to 20 with time served. Yeah, he's denied bail, but how much time is he really going to get? Probably maybe 3 years, might be out on probation, might have to wear an ankle bracelet like Martha Stewart, and everything's going to be fine. And then what happens is that no one's paying attention to the fact that there are a lot of men who aren't saying anything, who are very quiet, as well as men especially, and women, who are supporting him. And I fear, even with everything that we've heard, let's say none of that was true. We saw something, however, that tells us something about this person. We saw a videotape of him brutalizing Cassie, and that tells me everything I need to know about this person's character. So even if nothing else was true, that alone is enough reason for him to be canceled indefinitely. But I fear that's not what's going to happen. I think this is just emboldening more men to do the same thing, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to get away with it. There are men in this industry who have left this country, who are now living on islands and in different countries, to escape persecution from things like this. There are men that I know personally who are involved in this, who have done things similar to this, who have parties like this. Diddy's not the only one. This is not a Sean Combs problem. This is a societal community issue here in this town. And it's not just the artists. It's also their attorneys, their publicists. It's the hotels. I was brutalized in a hotel, and guess what happened? That tape disappeared. When I went to get my police report from the police station, it was destroyed, all within 48 hours, to protect the person who had brutalized me. It is systemic. So it doesn't matter, if Diddy gets...
Bitch, shut up. To be fair, she is dropping a lot of facts, right? We know this. The industry is fucked. Don't say it's a societal problem, because it's only a small percentage of men that have the power and influence to be able to do things like this. That's why the industry is fucked as it is, bro. So there is a lot of truth to what she's saying. Big dogs get away with doing a lot of shit because they are fucking big dog. But her implying that men are more aggressive in regards to things because women have become more independent and liberated and are more competitive, and is somehow threatening men? Absolutely not, bro. It's the opposite. It's due to the fact that women are much more liberated, out here acting like men, refuse to take accountability on decisions that they made because they're so sexually liberated, bro. Back in the day, it was much more difficult to pull this shit off, man, because women held themselves to a higher standard. Chastity, being pure. Now we're in the age where, yeah, women are more educated, more independent, have body autonomy, can do whatever the fuck they want to do, which is going to higher the likelihood of them finding themselves in these positions with these men. They ready to do these freak offs, right? Out here sucking and fucking, because we're in the middle of the whole epidemic. So now you have the predators, you got the big dogs. They're gonna continue doing this shit. This shit ain't never going nowhere, bro. Like I say, Diddy was a humiliation ritual, bro. Everybody been knowing Diddy been doing this shit for the longest. Like, all these other fools in Hollywood been doing this shit, dog. Diddy did some shit, pissed somebody off, and then hung him out to dry. But as far as the system of big dogs, of the predators, of unchecked power, they're gonna continue doing it. But as long as women are out here moving like whores, y'all are gonna get preyed on that much more. And then cry from the rooftop when y'all get victimized, when y'all literally sign up for the shit. Like, look at Young Miami, bro. Y'all probably know who that is, bro. That was Diddy's last, his most recent woman. And look how she turned out, bro. You don't hear a peep from her. She been supporting the cause the whole time, bro. Been championing Diddy. Is innocent. He ain't did shit and all that, bro. She participated in them freak offs handsomely, took advantage of being a whole independent boss bitch, and now look at her, bro. Super successful. It's just because Cassie dropped the ball. She didn't capitalize off of it like a boss bitch independent woman should have. She got caught up in that shit and let her time pass, and then Diddy got another one, and then here we are, bitches crying victim, because they don't want to be held accountable for the whole ass decisions they make. Yeah, Diddy beat ass. Yeah, all these men out here with power, I ain't gonna say all of them, a lot of men out here with power are predators, be preying on little kids. You feel me? That shit ain't going nowhere. But as long as we are empowering whores to be whores, it's literal hunting season for the big dogs. It's literal hunting season for the Diddys and the Jay-Z's and whoever the fuck else is out here knocking y'all whores out here volunteering to get hold out. Do that shit. These men with power are not at all worried about bitches competing, because these bitches can never compete with the boss dogs. Y'all are just that much easier to fuck. And the irony, we got, Superhead out here crying about it. When you help spearhead the shit. Anyway,